Hey, I'm Sam and I do design. This is how I got started in digital sketching. So I actually started off with a small Wacom tablet about 4 or 5 years ago now, and that was one that you plugged into the computer, you sketched on the tablet itself, but the only thing showing you the image was the display of the computer itself. That was great to get started, and again, there was a bit of a learning curve because you're sketching in one place, but you're actually looking in a different place, which was kind of confusing at the time. But it's a great way to start really cheaply for everyone to get involved. After the Wacom tablet, I managed to try a few different types at university, and mainly it was the Cintiq. And that was really the first time I could sketch on the screen and actually feel the sketch as I was doing it. The Cintiq room at university was great to have on campus where we could all go and sketch if we needed to, but I also wanted to start sketching more digitally in my room where I could sketch really late into the night. And that's where my first iPad came into the mix because they just released the new iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil, and also I was working part-time at an Apple premium reseller at the time, so it was perfect to try out in store, and that really tempted me to go for the iPad Pro. So I got the 9.7-inch iPad Pro when that came out, and I always said that if it was just a little bit bigger to draw on, it would be perfect. So when they brought out the 10.5-inch, I bought that as soon as I could. And now that I've been using the 10.5-inch for a year or 2 years, I really wish that I went for the 12.9-inch now. Again, having the bigger screen really means that you can move your arms as much as you can, get the flow in, and you're not sketching from the wrist, you're always sketching from the shoulder, so the bigger the screen, the better. From the low-cost Wacom all the way up to the iPad Pro 12.9 and even the Cintiq past that, it's always about finding the right tablet for you. I really recommend going into stores, trying them out. I really recommend trying to use your friends, any people that you may know that has one, just to figure out how they all work. They all work slightly differently and they all feel slightly different to sketch on as well. It's all about finding the right tablet that suits you. Once you've got your hardware sorted, you need to start looking at the apps or the software that you're going to be sketching with. Personally, I use a mix of Procreate and Sketchbook Pro on the iPad, but there are so many other different sketching apps that you can use. And if you're looking at a Wacom or a Cintiq or even a Surface Pro, there are even the desktop apps that you can get to sketch on as well, like Photoshop. So I can only really talk about the ones that I use, even though there are so many more out there. But the reason why I use Procreate and Sketchbook together is because they're both great at different things. Procreate's interface and its gestures and its brushes are all geared towards free flow art. Whereas Sketchbook, with its ellipsis guide and ruler tool, are really geared towards more technical drawings. And that's why I always flip between the two apps. I always start in Sketchbook with the rulers and the ellipse tool, and then if I need more advanced brushes or image manipulation, I pop it into Procreate. In Procreate, the levels adjustments, the invert, the blurs, are all geared towards the art, like I said, so it's great to be able to do the image manipulation that I need in Procreate. And that's really the big difference between something like the iPad and the Cintiq. And it's that the iPad can do everything that the Cintiq can, but it's just fragmented into different apps and you need to know where to go to do those different things. Whereas on the Cintiq, you've got Photoshop and you can do it all in there. Obviously, keeping your file in Photoshop alone can help with workflow and help with the speed of things. But the portability of the iPad and just doing it on a couple of different apps instead really helps if you're going out and about all the time. And if you have an iPad and have a desktop as well, you can also use apps like AstroPad or Duet Display to mimic the screen, and then I can use Photoshop on my tablet with the Apple Pencil. So if you're just starting out in digital sketching, always remember to double check all of the different options out there and find out as much information as possible before you make your purchase. Check out all of the reviews online, double check if there are any rumors for new releases so you can hold off maybe a little bit and get the next one or the one you've been looking at for a bit cheaper, and just go for the tablet that suits you the best. Something that suits you might not necessarily suit someone else, and that's fine. And the same thing goes for whichever app or software you decide to use as well. Go with the one that you feel most comfortable with and have the most fun with. So with whichever tablet you've chosen, as long as you're having fun, you've chosen the right one. I've got another video planned to show you guys my full workflow from ideation to finished renders using both Procreate and Sketchbook. I want to break down the tools that I use, the brushes, the layers, everything that I do from one to the other to get to the finished product. So subscribe to catch that and hit the bell button to be the first to see it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this has been a little bit informative to help you choose which tablet you want and why. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.